all that the best path to go. Well, none of that is going to play out in our game because all of our levels, our planet is randomly generated. So every time you drop into a match, it's a new area, it's a new planet. The core's in a different spot, right? And so that's part of the fun, is you against these other teams first trying to find the core. Then once somebody finds the core, tracking them down, trying to stop them from extracting it.
Are you planning to be on console?
No, I think we're looking at just exclusive for Gala.
That's right. So we're going to be exclusive with Gala for the near term. So we don't plan on being on console in the near term anyway.
Some more about the story and characters. Yeah, we're really filling it out. Obviously, we got like a cool 80s vibe that mixed with sci-fi. That's pretty fun. You know, you saw one of the characters blowing on the cartridge to get the mech to run. So we're really working on fleshing that out. I don't want to spoil too much because we're going to have a nice plan for rolling out the characters and their backstory and the setting. So stay tuned for that one. How is Play to Earn going to work?
So this is a new relationship with Gala. We're still working on that. We're in very early stages, so we're going to work on that mode in the coming months. And it's still early, so stay tuned.
Yeah, we are looking and working with Gala too, like so Spider Tanks, and as these other games come out, because we are early, we can look what's working for them, what you guys all like, get feedback from you, the community, so we can implement this in the way that makes the most sense, it's the most fun. Pretty early. You want to talk that?
Yeah, what kind of NFTs are coming our way in the time frame? Again, very early stages right now. Like I said, it's too early to tell. We're still working with Gala. We're still trying to figure out the roadmap and the plan. So again, stay tuned. It's a little too early for us to commit on that.
What's your favorite game you worked on in the past? Do you want to start? Okay. Because you got. So I'm actually relatively new to CA at Certain Affinity. Stephanie, you've been at Certain Affinity for a long time, though.
I have been at Certain Affinity for a while, but.
What's your favorite Certain Affinity game?
Probably the Halo series.
Nice. So I've worked at a couple of different places. Most recently, I was at Activision Blizzard on like the Diablo stuff, and Tony Hawk. Before that, Crash Bandicoot, Destiny 2. But I'd say my favorite was I worked on wrestling games, WWE games for a while, and I actually quite a while ago now, maybe 2005. I can't remember which version, but one of the SmackDown games, I designed a mode that was called the GM mode. And it was this mode where, usually you'd always play as the wrestler, and this gave you a chance. You still could play as a wrestler, but you'd get to set up your own show. And you'd actually compete by, it had like a little meta layer, a big meta layer on it, where you would have this draft of superstars that then you're putting in different matches, and the crowd's rating your matches, and you're trying not to get them injured, and you're managing them from a personality standpoint, like someone wants a title shot. And so it really gave you a chance not just to be the wrestler, which is what happened in a lot of those games, but also to feel like you were Vince McMahon or you were somebody running the show. And I just found out actually not too long ago, one of the wrestlers that hit me up, and he's been streaming his own podcast with this game that's now 12 or 13 years old, and he has a podcast with a bunch of followers on it every week. And so that just really made me happy that something I worked on that long ago is still bringing people joy. So, long answer, but there you go.
How long have you been working on the game? So for most of you who are familiar with Certain Affinity, we work for mostly large publishers on other people's games. We are transitioning into our own IP, obviously, our lead development. So we actually started this as kind of a pet project, internal project a couple of years ago. It's been a small project for us that we've internally funded, but we haven't been had a full team on it in about 6 months. But we've it's our foray into our first original IP.
Yeah, the exciting thing too that I've seen is this is the CA passion project, right? I mean, CA's been around 15 years now, and this is one that just when you bring it up, everybody in the studio, it just has a soft spot for it. And we've had multiple different teams and different team formations, and we've had a PvE version going that we're playing here today. We have different people that's worked on the PvP side, but the through line is that, yeah, this is like, for a while, this has been the one that got away, and now we're finally bringing it to light, and the studio's really happy about it. What are the core mechanics of a first-person shooter that make it feel really engaging? How does CA differentiate in those areas? Good question. So core mechanics of FPS that make it feel really engaging, that's the special sauce, right? And each studio, like the high-end studios that make these, they find their own special sauce, from Call of Duty to Destiny, and you're finding that right balance of like what's your TTK, what you're trying to kill, making sure you have low lag, high frame rate, like the VFX, that feedback that you get, right? It's a mix of all of it. You got to have it all, and how much bullet magnetism, like how much do you compensate, and then also how do you get variety out of the different weapons, right? Because it's one thing just to get good first-person shooter mechanics, but also you want to make sure that you have a variety of different ways to play. The shotgun feels like a shotgun, and sniper rifle feels like a sniper rifle. There's not a simple answer. That's what makes it special sauce. That's what CA does. And how do we differentiate in those areas? Well, a nice thing here is we have worked on a lot of these franchises, and so we've got to see and sample all those special sauces. And so I encourage you to come see what we put together. But it's we found kind of took the best from all those worlds that we feel like, and came up with and added a little bit of our own sauce to make a special core mechanic that feels pretty good. Are you building with both keyboard and mouse? Are you building with both keyboard, mouse, and controller in mind? So we've been looking mostly keyboard and mouse, but actually we do have a controller now stood up, because even in the office we have designers that are 100% keyboard and mouse. That's the way to go. But we've got other designers that swear by the controller. So we will be supporting both, and we will be building with both in mind. But today, what we're looking at is keyboard and mouse.
How are you finding working with Gala? Well, this is a pretty new relationship, so we're getting it off the ground. So far, it's great. They obviously have a lot of experience in this market. This is new for Certain Affinity, so we're certainly excited about this partnership, and I think it's going to be a great combination for us working together.
Do you see this game turning into an esport? I'm really inspired by what I've seen with Spider Tanks here and what Gala's doing there, and us taking it the more competitive aspect. I think it has that potential to get there, and I'd love to see it on that level.
Are you concerned about mainstream gaming media's take on NFTs and blockchain? I don't know if you have an opinion on this. I think it's going to take some time. This is new for the game for a lot of people, and I think it's going to take some time. Certainly there's going to be the naysayers, but we're excited about the market and excited about where it's headed.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, some of it just seems uneducated, I guess. But I think over time, I look at like free to play. I look at even like DRM. I was just talking to the designers about this the other day. Like DRM, when it came out, everyone's like, I hate it. And sometimes it was implemented really poorly. I couldn't even rip a CD I bought one time. I was pretty pissed off. But then Steam comes around, and that's what Steam is. It's DRM, but they give you value, right? And so I think that a lot of it is people just understanding what the value is, how it's going to work, and seeing different games implement it in good ways that make sense. And so I think over time, I see that easing. It's new. mentioned shotguns. Talk more about the weapons and other items, please. Yeah, so we have multiple classes, and you'll craft your weapons during the match. And we have different loadouts, different builds. You can actually customize your backpack, and so you have some leniency there. But for example, we got two characters that are playable today. One is more assault. His name Levi is his name. He's got a special, a super that drops a mech in that'll fight with you for a bit. And then he's got a couple choices of guns. He's got like a rivet repeater. It's more of like an assault rifle. He's got a handgun that does a lot of damage. It's really good if you're pretty accurate. Some other items that really come in handy. There's a bait ball. So if you guys have started seeing the game, at times you get overwhelmed with the creatures of the world. So the bait ball, if you toss it out there, it draws their aggro, it pulls them to it. So it puts them all in one place where you can clean them up, takes the aggro off of you and your teammates. Another nice item is a shock barrier. So there's a lot of canyons in this world, a lot of choke points, and you can throw down one of those and it'll shut off that whole area. If anyone runs through it, any of the enemies runs through it, it'll take some damage to them. So that's really nice for sealing off some different areas so you can focus fire. On the other side, you got Jasper. He's more of the healer. And so he's got two main ways that he can heal. One, he has a shotgun, which I love that shotgun. And then he's got two ways he can heal. He can craft a craft pack, which is like a healing pack. It's something that takes a couple of seconds to deploy. You can do it on yourself, or you can do it on, you can heal one of your teammates. And then once that's deployed, like I said, it takes about 3 seconds, then you get a chunk of health back immediately. Your other option is there's a craft shot, and it's like a little healing gun. And you can't use that on yourself, you can use it on your teammates. And that's nice because you don't have to be right next to them. But it puts a dot, it's not an immediate heal. And so that's a way to just start boosting somebody over time. He also has a Protectix. It's a way to add a little bit more armor to everybody on your team. So again, we're going to be looking at building out our characters and those loadouts, but that's what we have right now, and I encourage you to come check them out. Let us know what you think of them.
Maroon 5 or Kings of Leon. Man, what a great lineup. Maroon 5 was fantastic yesterday. I enjoyed that show. That would be my pick, but I can't wait for Kings of Leon this afternoon.
Yeah, I like them both. I'd go with, if you made me pick, I'd go with Kings of Leon. Any vehicles or flying or anything? No vehicles other than the ship that you come in on. Who knows where the future takes us. As for flying, we don't have that, but we are looking into different ways to have mobility in the game. So another item that you can craft in the game through Jasper is a zip line. And so again, with the canyons and also trying to retrieve the core and get out of there, like you might see an area that is infested and you need to get through that to get to the core. Well, if you have the zip line, just target a tree, target a rock, and just jump on that zip line and zip right by. So no flying, but definitely look for different ways we're going to add mobility. Let's talk a little bit about the inspiration for the game too. Talking to somebody, they were asking that question just while we were playing, and they actually hit it right on the head. So we play some Left 4 Dead, like we really like Left 4 Dead, even the Back 4 Blood that's come out, which our narrative director actually worked on Back 4 Blood. So a little shout out to him. But that aspect of teamwork and sticking together, we really wanted to bring that into this area, along with some of those, the first-person shooter mechanics that we were talking about and that we're known for and that we've worked on, from the Destiny or the Halo, the Call of Duty. So looking at those two and then adding in the PvP, the competitive aspect, really that kind of rounds out what we're looking to capture. Plans for clans or guilds, or is it just a party system? That's a great question. No current plans, but it's definitely not off the table. We're still a ways out, and I love having clans and guilds and having that formation. Again, we're coming from working on Destiny 2. having that way of building up your own little community, yeah, I think that's great. So stay tuned. Will there be other environments on the planet or different planets in the future? Yeah, again, something else we're looking at. Right now we do have actually multiple biomes, and so you will see variation in the plant life and the layouts. As for multiple planets, yeah, we've definitely talked about it. We're open to it. Again, we'll see where it goes. Any character progression like leveling up or XP? So, good question. In PvE games, having that leveling up and progression is great. You get that sense of taking on things that you couldn't take on before. Now, since we're adding competitive to this, we don't want that mismatch of balance in the game. We don't want someone to start the game and they're going to win just because they've spent 30 more hours in it than you have. So we do want to have progression. We do want to have things that persist. But we also, when it comes to power, we're going to keep that at a more level system in the game. Freebird. I don't know. Freebird? Sorry, when Freebird? I don't know when Freebird.
I don't either. Sorry.
And you don't want me to sing it either. I'm a horrible singer. I'm worried about this.
Karaoke later. When is beta? That's a good question. We don't have a specific date yet. We're still working on the details. So this is actually a pre-alpha build, so we're not even to the alpha stage just yet. So I don't have a time frame yet.
Yeah, we do want to have something out next year for everybody to play. Whether that'll be beta or alpha, I'm not sure, but definitely look for us next year to have something where you can get your hands on it from home.
No question, but this game looks amazing. Thank you. Again, if you haven't played it and been over there, get your hands on it, get the feel for how it plays. It's a really fun game.
Any other questions? Good? Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate it. Come swing by, get your hands on, let us know what you think, and we'll be engaging and talking to you guys through the Gala community. So appreciate it.